Your board needs to do this before you develop your annual strategy. And why do so many boards get it wrong? Don't let your board be one of them. Hi everyone, this is Michael Barrett, founder of Board Director, the board portal for high-performing boards. You know, there's an old proverb, where there is no vision, the people perish. And that is very true for companies as well. Without a vision, without a central idea, the company will perish.
From over 9,000 worldwide locations at its peak in 2004 to just one in 2019, Blockbuster lost almost everything seemingly overnight.
How can your CEO develop an annual strategy if it doesn't have a clear mission or a clear vision? The first step your board needs to do is to define the central idea of your company. You see, the central idea is the DNA of your company. It's your North Star. It's your guiding light. So what is a central idea and how do we create one? Let's dive into the book by Harvard Review Press, Boards That Lead, When to Take Charge, When to Partner, and When to Stay Out of the Way. Boards should author a short but definitive statement with clear and persuasive language, setting forth the central idea of why the company exists, how the company will compete ethically and win, and linkages between the resulting strategies components, including specific and sequenced actions that will be taken to execute consistently. That is the core of a central idea, and that is one of the board's premier duties of leadership. Your central idea must be clear and compelling for everyone in your organization, starting from the top of your board of directors to your CEO, all the way down to your employees. Here's how to write the three main components of the central idea: the mission statement, the vision statement, and the value statement. Listen, my attempt to show you how to do this would pale in comparison to Erica Olson's videos from On Strategy HQ. I will leave a link in the description below to her full videos. Okay, Erica, show us how to do this.
So, starting with our mission, I like to start it with our mission because it gives us a place to go and keeps us thinking about mission. You might get rid of it later, but start it there. It has a verb with present tense, to organize. We explain what we do, organize the world's information, for whom, in this case, the world, and what's the benefit to us existing. What's the benefit to the world? To make information universally accessible and useful. Really straightforward. We know mission statements are not that easy to write, so here's a checklist to make sure that yours is great. Starting with, it needs to be original. This is really clearly original to Google. They didn't rip it off from somebody else. It doesn't sound like anybody else's mission statement. It sounds like Google's mission statement. So make sure yours is original. It's foundational. I already mentioned that, but you don't want to change it all the time. Maybe a few word tweaks, but ideally not. You want a mission statement that sustains over time, so it needs to be foundational. Connect with staff. A great mission statement, and you know yours is great, when every single staff member wakes up in the morning and knows that their purpose and the reason they come to work every day is expressed in your mission statement. And to do that, it needs to be memorable. Memorable means short and concise. And of course, that's the balance to strike with a great mission statement. So here's your litmus test. It needs to fit on a t-shirt and your staff would wear it. If it achieves those two goals, you know you've got a great mission statement. So how do you write one? Sometimes it can be hard, so it's great to get input or ideas from your organization. So gather staff input if you'd like, via survey or maybe focus groups. Take all that information, synthesize it down, and create a couple of versions. You can do it yourself, or use one of those folks in your organization who loves to copyright and have them write a couple of different versions. Take those versions and either have your planning team pick one or put them out to your organization and have people vote on them. So that simple process will help you not go in all kinds of different directions and spend forever doing mission statement development. Vision statements are a critical component to any great strategic plan. And the reason why is because strategic plans are about creating a different future. And that future is articulated in your vision statement. It needs to be succinct and clear and understandable, but it needs to paint a picture for where you're going and why. And that's your critical word to remember is where. We often get mission and vision confused, so the way that you keep them distinct is by making sure that your vision statement articulates where. Where are we going? What does success look like in the future? Let's talk about the different types of vision statements, a checklist to make sure yours is great, and then we'll break down how it comes together and wrap it up with a quick how to do it for yourself. So there are 3 different types of vision statements. They come in 3 different flavors, really. The first is quantitative. So a revenue number maybe, or maybe like a number of things. In this case, every kid, that's an expression of a quantitative vision statement. Competitive is about sounding like beating your competition or better than your competition. I don't see these very often, so I wouldn't use that. The third one is superlative, like premier, number one, the best, also super common. Okay, here's your checklist. It's a great checklist to make sure that your vision statement truly is a vision statement. Let's break it down. Vision statements are at least 5 years in nature or longer. 5 years is a really good guide. In this case, by 2025. Future tense, I talked about that already. Make sure we say where. I love we envision. That's super future looking. And then of course we have the word will in there as well. So future tense verbs. It's directional. Again, we're not there today. Reaching every kid starts to explain that. Audacious, same deal. Every kid in our community, that's big. Visions are about big. And descriptive. Academically, through high school and beyond, it starts to paint a picture. We expanded it by adding some more descriptors here about how the world will look different. Remember, your vision statement is your North Star, and we want to be able to see that North Star. So let's create a clear picture. So let's break this down a little bit further so you can put yours together. We envision. I like to start vision statements like that because it gets us in the right frame of mind. You might get rid of it later, but it's a good place to start. The impact that we're making in the world. What is different? Be clear that you spell that out. And then what the world looks like. You may not always include these in all of your vision statement prints, if you will, but it's nice to really kind of describe it and not be constrained by something super, super tight and synthesized. The tip on these is I like to use these as a starting place to develop strategic objectives. It's a great way to tie everything together.
Core values. Core values answer the question, how will we behave in the context of a strategic planning process? You often hear, hey, we're gonna work on mission, vision, values. So we made this whiteboard video to help that piece of your strategic planning process. But before we go too far, I just kind of wanna call out a really important point. And that is, just because we say mission, vision, values, doesn't mean you need to define your core values as part of your strategic planning process. If you don't have them and you're starting from scratch, I would highly recommend that you take values and you put them into a dedicated process and work on that by itself. And a really great process that we love is from Change the Culture, Change the Game. Check it out, it's awesome. If you're gonna do a dedicated process to build out your core values, use this book. If you have a set of values and you just wanna refresh them, then absolutely include them in your planning process. So with that, let's talk about what makes up a good core value, the components of it, how you know you did it right, and how you put it to use. So here is our anatomy of a core value. We love labels before the colon, a value as a noun, in this case, respect and authenticity, awesome. We start with a verb in present tense, we believe in. The value, connecting to the heart of the matter, something that, again, isn't like everybody could replace it here, but just something that's a little unique to you and your organization, connecting to the heart of the matter. And the behavior you expect, in this case, by listening respectfully and acting authentically. The most important part of core values is this piece. What is the behavior that's expected? We are saying that this is how we're expecting everybody in the organization to behave. So that's a great core value. We believe in connecting to the heart of the matter by listening respectfully and acting authentically. Ideally, you would have maybe 5 to 7 core values, maybe less, maybe 3. Something people can remember, yes, Zappos has like 12. That's good for them, but we recommend less. Another thing when you're thinking about, did we get it right? They should be your non-negotiables, meaning absolutely everybody should behave this way in your organization. You would stand by them no matter what happens, no matter what. And as I said before, the behavior is clear. Awesome. So now that you have your core values or you've refreshed them, and just a consideration, if you are refreshing them, consider putting them in a survey in the first phase of your planning process to get feedback on people's perspective on what does it look like when we're behaving with this core value. Great question. How do we put it to use? Publish them, of course, right? Maybe posters, maybe on your intranet, maybe at the bottom of your SIG block, depending upon where you want to see them. Importantly, reinforcing them. I like to reinforce them at the beginning of every staff meeting. Maybe pick one, maybe call out where you saw a value in practice the week before. Super powerful. And then last but not least, and this is from Change the Culture, Change the Game, establish intentional experiences that reinforce a core value. So experiences in your organization that reinforce, in this case, respect and authenticity. So with that, that's a quick overview of core values. You know how to get it right and construct ones that are really going to make a difference in your organization. Don't forget, Peter Drucker said, culture eats strategy for lunch. And he's right. So this matters tremendously. Make sure you pick the right part of the process to build out yours.
So now that you have your central idea defined with an individual mission statement, vision statement, and value statement, how can you share these critical documents with your current board members and future board members? Let me introduce you to Board Director, a board portal software that has everything your board needs to govern effectively. Good governance is like a recipe. You need all of the ingredients to make a great meal.
Let's be honest, that's a pretty sorry battalion you got there.
Your board needs full access to all of your organization's governance documents to govern effectively. They should not have to email the chief executive or their assistant to acquire policies and bylaws and minutes and reports or audits and so forth. Inside of Board Director, our document repository can securely organize and store all of your mission critical documents. To tie this into our overall theme today, your board members should have access to the Central Idea folder and all of its components, the mission statement, vision statement, and core value statement. Let's begin by going to our document section and creating a new folder. We'll call it the Central Idea folder. Once that's created, we can start to upload the files. From here, I'm going to upload our Central Idea file. Next, I'm going to upload our mission statement file. Then I'm going to upload our vision statement file. And finally, I'm going to upload our value statement file. From here, your board members can now have access to all of these files. From here, you can provide access to the Central Idea folder to all of your current board members and future board members. Now, all board members can see the Central Idea, vision statement, mission statement, and value statement. If you're looking for a board portal to help manage all of your documents and meetings, we hope you think about boarddirector.co. Hey, be sure to create that mission statement, vision statement, and value statement, and create that Central Idea for your company so you're just not another stat. I'm hoping for your success.